Hey Canada, you seriously want a trade war? I think you need a reality check here. So here is a simple view of the real world. If a trade war were to become reality between Canada and the United States, let's just say trade between us was cut in half. America will lose about 1% of our gross national product. Couple this with the lowest growth estimates of our GDP, which range between 3 and 4.5%, let's take the 3% number. The American economy will not even feel a loss. Zero overall effect to America from this trade war. Canada, on the other hand, would lose about 10% of its gross national product, and with the pathetic growth that you guys are looking at, the highest of which is about 1.2% for this year, that is an overall loss of right about 9%. To put this simply, the Canadian economy would be wrecked. You would see one of the worst depressions in Canadian history. You are talking about devastating results. Lower income to your government at the same time as exploding unemployment. Canada would see massive increases in their spending. At the same time, they receive massive decreases in their income. Ordinary Canadians would really suffer and lose, or at least see major cutbacks in social programs that you brag about. Canadians have looked down their noses at Americans for decades, making snide remarks that we are dumb, that we are crude. Well, I have a message for you Canadians, straight from a red-blooded America First patriot. The jig is up. We, America, have protected you with our $700 billion armed forces, the strongest in the world by far. America has propped you up, not only economically, by taking any and all excess product you can send our way, but socially. We are why you get equal footing in the world stage with any government out there. The only reason you get the respect that you do is because other world leaders see you as America's best friend. We bolster that perception, and we've done it gladly for decades, even centuries. But are you really America's best friend? Would best friends sell military secrets to one of our biggest enemies, China, like you did with that laser technology just a few short years ago? Over the strong objections of America, I might add. Would best friends create trade barriers and charge tariffs in the hundreds of percent range like Canada does to America? The figure that has been thrown out lately about these dairy tariffs of 270% are not even true. I looked it up. Canada charges 295% tariffs on dairy from America. Would best friends automatically side with the globalist enemies of the European Union each and every time? And finally, would best friends aim economic punishment directly at citizens to influence our elections? The answer to all of these questions is a resounding no. No best friend would sell military secrets to our enemies. No best friends would create trade barriers and tariffs in the 300% range. No best friends would side with our globalist enemies. And absolutely no best friends would directly target so-called best friend citizens to change their votes and influence our elections. So maybe it's time for Americans to reevaluate this best friend status that we have. And many will come to the conclusion, like I have, and South Park so aptly put, fuck Canada. We don't need you. We don't need you at all. You don't want our products? No problem. There are 30 million people suffering in North Korea right now that would love to have all of the agricultural products we can send and more. A real message to Canada. Americans are furious over Russia using 13 trolls to try and influence our elections in 2016. How do you think Americans are going to feel when they realize that you are directly and openly targeting sections of America to specifically change their votes? That is influence in our elections in a much, much bigger way. For a bunch of pussies that never even had the balls to break free from England, you certainly seem to have a much larger ego than you have earned here in reality. And the real truth is, it is Canada's ego that is behind this trade war, and it may bring depression and woe to all Canadians. Is that what Canada truly wants?